office acting like nothing had happened too. That was the thing. And then I get filled in by Solomon, and it's like, what? I mean, I can't even get my wife anything for Christmas right now, much less, you know. Plenty of time though. We got plenty of time. So, smart man. You guys got to bear with me. I got a little cold I'm fighting through right now, but we'll open it up from there.
Just when you look at them defensively, just the challenge with Brian and his scheme. I mean, you know, he'll blitz you 1 minute and then he'll drop 8 and the next. So just the challenge of facing kind of a unique scheme this week.
Yeah, it's the two extremes. You know, in certain situations, offensively, we always talk about, hey, they're either max coverage or max pressure. As a general philosophy, a lot of teams do that down in the red zone, but Flores is kind of taking that to a new extreme, you know, at any time and any moment. It's been fun this week trying to dissect their defense. They do a lot, and it's hard. But our staff's done a nice job trying to narrow down some things that we can key in on potentially. But he's got a new wrinkle each and every week that we'll have to be able to adjust to. Our guys they understand the challenges that present themselves. That I mean, the safeties they disguise 22s as good as there is in the business, and he has been for a long time in this division. But really, he's got that whole crew beyond the scheme. To me, the fundamentals are what show up. The front 7, they shed blocks really well. You can tell they stress turnovers. They have so many fumbles already this season, and then they tackle really well also. And then the other thing they do is they play very disciplined football. So when you combine that with the scheme, the fact that their players are playing at such a high level, that's what makes them so dangerous.
I'm curious about Goff's history against Flores' defense, if at all.
I'm sure, you know, he knows how Jared, some of his style. I think Jared has evolved over the years. So we aren't running the LA offense per se. We've got some elements of it, but you know, Jared has grown as a quarterback as well. So if there's anything that he's going to draw from in his past, he also has to keep in mind the recent tape of Jared where he's a little bit different player than he was a few years ago. And same thing with him and his Miami stuff that he put on tape there. They've got some carryover things, but not all of it. So it'll be a good battle here this week.
Players playing through things right now. I'm just curious as a coach when you're dealing with illness, right? Like, it's important that you're sharp in game planning and sharp on game day. Like, how do you battle through a cold during the season? Like, what's your, I guess, plan to make sure you're taking care of yourself while taking care of your job?
I had a coach in college that used to say, you never really understand how much the human body can withstand. You know, everyone always underestimates it. And I heard them, and it fell on deaf ears at the time when I was in college. But then I had kids, and it started to resonate a little bit more that, yeah, okay, you're tired or you're not feeling good. Well, they still need you. They still need you. So you get up and you do your job. And I think for coaches, when we're not feeling 100%, and certainly with our players, none of them are 100% right now. We have an obligation to the people next to us to come through in a big way. So I think our guys take a lot of pride in that, and that's no different here this week.
Probably easier when Frank's out there playing a week after having his knee repaired and CJ's playing with one arm for the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, Frank's a stud, man. He's incredible. You know, the numbers speak for itself. When he's out on the field, we're a better offense, and we can't look past that. Certainly don't take it for granted.
I wanted to ask about Panay. He said you challenged him during the offseason to just really hone in on the technique and improve his IQ. How have you seen that grow and make him a better player here in year 3?
Well, he was a heck of a player the first 2 years, but I think he's taken some coaching points, and they were minutiae for him because he was already one of the top tackles in the league, in my opinion, after year 2, and he's really taken it to another level. Particularly in the run game, there were some techniques that we asked him to try that he hadn't tried. We always compare him with Trent Williams out there in San Fran. That guy's on another level, and we think Panay can be that same type of player. But I think the one area that he's done just such a solid job for us is in pass pro. It's hard to see him give up a pressure on the quarterback right now. He does a really nice job there. So in both areas, he's done a good job, and his hands have gotten better too. We just haven't highlighted that yet on the field. So you never know.
Given that, how great's the matchup this week with Donnell?
What's that?
Given what you just said about Panay, how great's that matchup against him and Donnell this week?
Yeah, I mean, Donnell is, I forget what the sack numbers are, but he clearly can pressure the quarterback. And so we need to know where he's at. They do such a good job schematically. It might not be so much getting a free hitter, but they generate one-on-ones all the time. And over the course of the game, someone on their side of the ball wins their one-on-one, and that's why teams get off schedule and there's all these third and longs. Hunter's a huge part of that, huge part of that, and that's where our tackles and really the entire offensive line is going to have to play really well, consistent ball throughout the game here.
They've only given up one run, 20 yards or more all year. Ja's got 10, leads the league. What have they done so well to eliminate those big chunk plays in the running game?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at them, they tend to play a little bit lighter than what your personnel group is. So say we have two tight ends out there, they haven't been much base defense so far this year. And so it gives that illusion that, oh, we should be able to run the ball, but boy, did they rally. They like I said, up front, those guys, they shed blocks. I mean, I see 90 popping off the tape. I see 97 popping off the tape. Even if you get a good fit on them, it's hard to sustain that block, and it shows up time and time again. And then this undrafted rookie, number 40, he's the real deal now. He is slippery. He'll take on blocks, but at the same time, he'll get right on by in a hurry. So I think the combination of their big guys along with number 40 and then the aggressive safeties, I think the combination of all that has made it really hard for teams to run the ball.
What are you seeing from Gibbs now these last, I don't know how many weeks, in terms of coming into his own as a weapon?
I mean, he's been electric really since he stepped on the field for us. I don't know if I've necessarily seen anything out of the ordinary. I know he had the one 30-yard run last week, but I don't think any of us were surprised by it. So he's been consistent. It's the details for him, the landmarks in the running game, understanding it, pass pro, who he's responsible for not being a really big guy. He is more than willing, and he continues to get better in that area. That's probably the one department that we continue to see going up and up. But the run game has been pretty solid all year long.
Small sample size for him, but it seems like he's a little less involved in the pass game and more involved in the run game. Is that just kind of a situation where you just kind of want him to...
Remains to be seen, yeah. It's week to week there.
I know you hate talking about this topic in season, but I'm going to try to ask it just a little bit differently because your name, once again, obviously getting surfaced in all kinds of lists about potential head coaching. I'm just wondering, last year as you went through this, like how easy was that for you to block out, just knowing that when you got to the end that it was going to be something you were going to have to navigate?
Did you guys ask AG about this? Okay, because he's a guy that we should be asking about head coaching. That guy, what he's done, he's phenomenal. He's going to be a phenomenal head football coach when he gets the opportunity to do that. And I think when you bring those types of questions up, you need to make sure you're asking them to him as well. But the focus right now is on the Minnesota Vikings. That's all we care about. And like I said before, we are obligated to each other to keep our focus on the main thing.
Flowers then, I think that guy gets more criticism on the outside, whether it's through talk radio or fans or sometimes even in this room. So when maybe the defense isn't putting up the same statistics that the offense is, what is he doing behind the scenes that sets him apart, that makes you believe that head coach is what's in his future?
The way his players respect him. He is very demanding, yet he has a gentle touch when it comes to being able to relate and get them to bring out the best in them. So I know when he gets his opportunity, he's gonna take it and run with it.
How much is he, I guess, molded, inspired, kind of your approach to coaching, just being
You
in the
take
same...
something from everybody you're around, everybody. So I'm learning from Coach Campbell every day. I'm learning from Scotty Montgomery every day, Hank Fraley, Dave Phipp, across the board. So I think you really try to pick out great things from each guy you're around and own them yourself.
Verge of doing something that you haven't just as an organization in 30 years. And I know the job's not done yet, but winning the division, how special is that? Do you consider that a special season yet? And if not, what sort of qualifies as special for you guys?
Yeah, I probably haven't had time to reflect on that one yet, to be honest with you. One of our goals this season was to win the division, and we, with 3 games left, are in position to do that. So just trying to keep the main thing right now, and then we can always reflect when the season does end. But for right now, we're right where we need to be. Our players are right where they need to be, and really looking forward to the opportunity here this week.
Hey Ben, Kaylin Kaler with The Athletic. Nice to meet you. You said that a big reason you didn't want to leave Detroit last offseason is because of Jared Goff. So I want to know, now that we're almost at the end of this regular season, what has been the best part about working with Jared for another season this year?
Yeah, I know. I mean, our relationship just continues to flourish. He does such a great job. He challenges me. I challenge him every day. I like to think he's continuing to get better as a player, but I really think we are so much more aligned in how we see football right now. It helps him play faster on the field. He knows the intent of everything that we're trying to get done. So, no, he's a huge reason for what we can do. And we joke about it. People don't give him credit. You know, you can look at the stats and you can look at the passing numbers. The things that he handles with the pre-snap operation is really second to none. There aren't many quarterbacks in this league doing what he does. He's such a smart player, and that tends to get overlooked sometimes. But no, I'm extremely grateful for all the time I've been able to have with Jared. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
If you're looking to